Hey, welcome back into Occupy Democrats. And there's a great line in the original Star Wars Episode 4 where Princess Leia says, "The more you try to tighten your grip, the more slip through your hands." And in this breaking story, Donald Trump gets absolutely excoriated on the precipice of a No Kings rally across this country for exactly who he's become, the dictator who's trying to rule the courts. Take a quick listen to this sound. I'll show you the story in just a few seconds.
Historic decision. The Supreme Court ruled on Monday that presidents have broad immunity from prosecution.
He has been gifted a dictatorship.
A crucial moment in his testing of a precious American institution.
That is 100% correct.
Something else that's going to happen, Sean, is when Republicans take back the White House, and we will
be
back in there in 18 months or less.
Immune.
You know what's going to happen? The Department of Justice, the prosecutors will be prosecuted. The investigators will be investigated. They were hiding in the shadows, but now they have a spotlight on them. There's a record of it, and we can clean house next term.
Oh, it doesn't stop there.
But today, that foundational view of the role of the courts is under direct assault from the chief executive of the United States.
The ruling extends the delay in the Washington, D.C. criminal case against former President Donald Trump on charges he plotted to overturn the 2020 presidential election, and all but ends prospects he could be tried before the November election.
We all have John Roberts and a couple of others to thank for this.
The 6-3 ruling marked the first time since the nation's founding that the Supreme Court has granted any form of presidential immunity from prosecution. Immune. In a scathing dissent on behalf of the minority, Justice Sonia Sotomayor warned the ruling would make the president above the law. She wrote, quote, "The president of the United States is the most powerful person in the country and possibly the world. When he uses his official powers in any way under the majority's reasoning, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. Orders the Navy SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? Immune. Organizes a military coup to hold on to power? Immune. Takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon? Immune."
Whether you're a former FBI director, whether you're a former head of an intel community, whether you are a current state or local elected official, everything is on the table.
Yes, he is conducting himself exactly like someone who is immune.
On his first day back in office, Donald Trump pardoned or commuted the sentences of more than 1,500 January 6th rioters.
Immune.
Soon after, he fired prosecutors who, as part of their jobs, moved to hold him accountable for his role in the violent attempt to overturn the 2020 election.
Immune.
And now Trump and his administration have launched its most aggressive escalation yet, a targeted campaign against the very people who safeguard our legal system, judges and lawyers.
You shouldn't be nervous any longer because Donald Trump is in office and the weaponization has ended.
And yet in this breaking story, the more he tightens his grip, along with Pete Hegseth and Stephen Miller and Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem, the more stories like this are going to come out against Donald Trump. Check out what the New York Times just did by ripping him a new one right here. Breaking news, in quotes, Trump has eroded this system. President hit with blistering editorial from New York Times. The New York Times published a blistering editorial on Friday bemoaning that President Donald Trump has eroded America's justice system. The editorial board described how the president, in quotes, is once again weaponizing the legal system to fulfill his personal vendettas in his most recent act of retribution, calling for the indictment of New York Attorney General Letitia James. James previously sued Trump over a false business deal. This week, the Department of Justice came after James, indicting her on alleged bank fraud tied to a 2020 mortgage loan in Virginia. In quotes, Mr. Trump has eroded this system from within. The editorial board writes, his replacement of a career prosecutor with a crony is only one example. He has staffed the Justice Department and the FBI with loyalists. His administration has pushed out lawyers who investigated misconduct and corruption. He has tried to punish law firms that represent his political opponents. He has repeatedly warned officials, sometimes in public social media posts, that they should not go against him. He has sent a message that federal law enforcement's main concern should be not the country's laws or the Constitution, but his personal interests. Before the James indictment, U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert, Trump's own appointee, was forced to resign from the Eastern District of Virginia after Siebert declined to prosecute her. Then, Trump pressured Attorney General Pam Bondi to appoint a new prosecutor. Trump ally Lindsay Halligan, an insurance lawyer and former beauty pageant contest who has never prosecuted a case. He also pressured Halligan to indict former FBI Director James Comey, another Trump foe. Comey was indicted on September 25. In quotes, America is now in a dangerous period in which the president can order investigations and indictments against his enemies. Mr. Trump is criminalizing Americans' ability to challenge their leaders, the board wrote. Rome wasn't built in a day, but you can sure tear it down in the modern world in a day. And Donald Trump is trying to do it in less than 10 months. We need to stay on top of this and everybody understand. It is going to take folks who believed they thought Trump would be a savior to understand he isn't, and it's going to take a lot of independents out there to realize there's a lot of ways to fix some of the problems this country has, but absolutely blowing it up from the inside and dismissing the Constitution and the three branches of government and the purpose of their balance is not the way. You guys like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay frosty.